There's one, guys. Yeah, that's a pretty good one too, man. On the micro-bladed Kooshball and that 3-inch Eurotackle B vibe. Another one, guys. I think that's a big bass, guys. Y'all, I have been saved from so many bad fishing trips from that little minnow right there. There's one, guys. I think that's a bass. Yeah, that's a pretty good one too, man. God, I can't boat flip him. Dude, he's got some weird melanosis. Really, really weird. Look at that. So pasty. He's got scoliosis. He looks like absolute crap. That's a 16-inch chunk, guys, on the micro-bladed Kooshball and that 3-inch Eurotackle B vibe, man. We've had several nights in the 30s, so it's got water temps in the upper 40s. When the water temp gets that cold, there's not a whole lot of things that I actually have a lot of confidence in throwing, but one of them is a very small bladed jig, and what I do is I just crawl it on the bottom as slow as I can reel it while keeping that blade moving. Finally got one to commit today. Got it on 6-pound Sunline, a Sioux Genius, and my Dobbin 7.4 Sierra. Y'all, we tried Lake Alvarado this morning from about 9 to noon. Didn't even get a bite. So I picked up and left. It's about 1:30-ish right now, back up at the home lake. We'll see if we can catch a few fish before the sun goes down. The days are very short now. There's one. There we go, guys. On the mighty minnow, got something. What is it? I think it's a bass. Yeah, it's another largie. All right. That's a good surprise. Pretty dang good one too, guys. Awesome. There was bait all over this flat as I was on the trolling motor coming over to this dock. Went from nothing to a couple, so that's saying something. Another 15-inch bass on the mighty minnow and spy jig. Y'all, and the easiest way to catch fish on that tiny spy jig when the conditions are just ultra tough is to just cast it out there, keep your rod tip up, and just let it hover, you know, in the middle to the lower part of the water column. Just let it hover, lift it a little bit, let it fall. Kind of fishing it like a jig in the middle of the water column, if that makes sense. This bass came out from about 4 feet of water underneath of that dock. 1.8-inch crappie colored mighty minnow, guys, on that 1/16 ounce spy jig. That arc gravity throws it so well with the 7.4 Dobbin Sierra. That is cold water, guys. Another one, guys. I think that's a big bass, guys. That is a big bass, I think. That's kind of a good bass. There are 2 bass under this dock, guys. That one's solid. Don't shake that, please. Golly, look at the red on him. Look in there. That's a solid fish, guys. That's probably like an 18-inch bass. He's kind of skinny, but boys, that one's actually 18 and a half. That's a really long bass. He was pulling pretty hard. That's a solid fish right there, guys. He kind of pinballed in between those two pilings. Y'all, I have been saved from so many bad fishing trips from that little minnow right there. We're getting on a bit of an evening bite here, guys. Maybe we can actually get 5. That was not expected after the morning we had. It's a cold bass right there, guys. There's one, guys. There's one. Finally got one to bite on the spy jig. God, we've been here for 2 hours, y'all. I will be grateful the water levels come back up, but in the wintertime, all the grass dies. And the grass is what filters the water for the most part and keeps it clean. And it is muddied up pretty bad. Gosh, I've thrown a lot of stuff. Thrown a little chatterbait, a 1/16 ounce chatterbait. I've thrown Jeff's jerkbait. I've thrown a tiny little A-rig. I have been reluctant to drag the bottom yet because I just got bit on that spy jig and I had a bass on the jerkbait, but it was just a super mushy bite and he didn't even stay on. So first little creek largie. Got here at like 9 a.m. and now it's 11, so still happy to have at least got him on the board. One of my winter staples right there, guys. The little 1/16 ounce Moondog spy jig, but since it's so muddy, I got a 2-inch Eurotackle B-Vibe in that black and chartreuse high vis color. There's one. There's another one, boys. Super light bites. Anybody who ever said it's easy to fish in the wintertime has not done it enough, because they seem like they just don't want to eat and you got to put something very subtle in front of them that they just can't resist. That spy jig seems to do the trick for me. That's my winter confidence bait right there, y'all. Yeah, boys, I got my chest waders on today. True winter struggle right here, boys. That water is cold. Yeah. Got one. That one's pretty good. Oh, had him. At least we're getting bites consistently. Well, I won't say consistently. That's 4 bites on the spy jig. Landed 2 of them. It's just such a mush. It goes dead and you got to just watch to see if your bait moves at all. That one did, and I lifted on him, but hook just didn't stay pinned. There's one. Got one on the drop shot, guys. So quit being so stubborn, and I tied on a bottom bait. Pseudo bottom bait. Drop shot with a really short leader, and I got another bite. That's a Great Lakes Finesse drop worm. Little 4.5-inch drop shot worm with a very light tungsten on there, like 3/64 ounce or something like that, with like a 4-inch leader on it. Definitely not a fish I'd normally turn the camera around for, guys, but beggars can't be choosers today. And I'm gonna comb this area back over one more time, see if there's any bass that I left behind with that super small drop shot there, y'all. And being able to throw it on a bait caster makes it a little more fun than normal. Little red-lipped guy. Whoa. I do like these neoprene waders, guys. I always used to just buy the really cheap, they're not canvas, but I don't know what kind of material are. Literally like the $100 waders that you could get from Dick's or Academy. But last year for Christmas, I got these neoprene waders, And so far I like them a whole lot more than the other ones that used to get holes in them all the time. The neoprene waders are doing work right now in this creek. Well guys, it's 2:30. Fished the rest of the creek with the drop shot. I'm not even sure. I got maybe 1 or 2 more bites, so that's not a good look for an hour and a half of fishing or more. So we're calling it. We're gonna head back to the house. And then another good development that I had recently, I got my Dobbins 701C back. I had broke my other one in August. I had shut it in a car door and it didn't break it then, but I broke it on a fish on a trip there in August. Finally got it back from the warranty deal. There's just a big mix up. They've switched some things at the corporate level to where there's new ownership, and it made the warranty process drag out way longer than it should have. But nonetheless, I do have my rod back, and I absolutely love the Dobbins 701C for the ultra finesse bottom techniques, guys. It's got a little faster tip to it. It's super sensitive. This is the most sensitive rod that I own and that I've thrown, and it works perfect for those bottom bait techniques. And even I was throwing a drop shot with it. You can feel everything. I was feeling everything that little 364 ounce tungsten was coming over today, y'all. So all in all, with this edit, guys, I'm pretty sure I included the footage of like 3 nice lake fish that I caught as well a few days before this. It was a super tough bite that day, but those little Moondog 1/16 ounce spy jig heads, guys, these things are a cheat code for when the bite is as absolutely tough as it will get. Something about just the little vibration that the prop gives. Put your favorite 2-inch swim bait trailer on there and you're in business. Like I always say, work it like a jig in the middle of the water column, almost like strolling it. Fish will come up to investigate it, and more often than not, we'll take passes at it. As always, guys, do not forget the ongoing monthly BFS Big Bass contests are still going. But make sure, pick up your fish ruler so that y'all can get eligibility for all future contests occurring in 2025. Pick up your ruler for January, and it gives you guys some extra incentive to go out there and grind on those tough winter days, guys, to catch a long fish and hopefully have the chance to win some really cool prizes. But apart from all that, this one was a huge grind per usual in the wintertime. I still had some fun though, and if y'all enjoyed the struggle, please leave a like for me. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet, guys. Please talk with me in the comments below. Let me know how fishing's treating y'all around this time of year. Please share this with a finesse loving friend, guys. Help me hit that 3,000 subscriber mark. At that time, I will be doing a custom BFS hard bait giveaway. But thank y'all so much for watching, and y'all take her easy. We'll catch you on the next one. There's one. There we go, guys. On the mighty minnow, got something. What is it? I think it's a bass.